I'm John Tilli. I'm a vice president at Deutsche Bank. I'm also co-chair of Open Finance, which stands for Out Professionals Exchange Network. So it's really a network of networks for all the gays of all the banks across the street. And I'm also chair of DB Pride Americas, which effectively makes me head gay at Deutsche Bank. Which was a interesting story, because when I was even as recently as 5 or 6 years ago at JP Morgan or something like that, was never out, and now I'm like the most out banker there probably is. But my coming out story really started when I probably don't get the years right, but let's say somewhere between the second, but definitely ending in the 5th grade. And this time I was experimenting with my cousin, male cousin, and we were playing quote doctor, I think it was called. And this was an embarrassing time, and that went on for several years and really ended when I saw my first AIDS video. So this was sometime in the early 90s. I remember very vividly, it was one of those old school televisions that you barely saw any color in, but it talked about how you got AIDS, which I don't know what they actually said, maybe it was more scientific. But really was, if you touched another man or boy, you get AIDS. So I remember going home from school, sick that day, maybe not sick obviously, but sort of sick. I got home and told my parents I was dying. Now, of course, they were not convinced I was really dying necessarily, but that was the first time I had a therapist and everything right then and there, and it wasn't conversion therapy, but it was like a let's counsel through this. And I don't really remember ever seeing my cousin again, which might have been purposeful, but my family did fight a lot, and so I would say that was my first coming out time, was having to confront that. And it really did give me two things. One, a total fear of any kind of sexually transmitted diseases, even though I didn't really do anything, which lasted probably till this day, to be honest. And then you really had to face the internalized homophobia. So you never really can get over that, despite having years of therapy, let's call it. And then, even when I entered the real world, I went to NYU, worked in finance, very bro-y culture, and I remember you go to the bar with your friends, and I was always a great wing person, because I would be fine hitting on the girls, so I would go into a group of girls and hit on what would be perceived as the less attractive one. Buy them drinks, talk to them the whole time. After enough drinks, I would feel comfortable saying, hey, I'm gay. We're not going home together, but we'll definitely share a cab so people think we are. Then, when I started at Deutsche Bank, my friend Murray, he was openly discussing with the head of our business, who's a super senior guy, breaking up with his boyfriend. And I kind of was doing that kind of probably a little creepy eavesdropping kind of thing. But hearing him be so open about it, over the course of the next few months, we became friends. I met lots of other gays on Wall Street, and then decided, okay, replacing sort of how I got through high school, middle school, college, being involved in all those extracurricular activities, I did that again. And then, because I can be pretty effective at organizing events, things like that, that's really been my outlet in expressing, my gayness or who I am, has been being involved in all these organizations. Because I do feel, when you go to a gay bar, kind of like what I was saying when I brought my friends and I would go after the girls, it's a little harder in the gay scene because everyone's a man. So, typically the ones I go to anyway. And so you don't know who's with who or whatever. So you meet in a more professional context, you can actually talk, it's not just drinking, it's a lot easier to meet people. So when you do that through all these outlets and have other ways to sort of express yourself, it becomes a lot more productive and healthy. So my coming out story is really in 3 parts, taking probably a closer part of 20 years. And I would say that, it's not really over ever for me. You face that, oh, what's your girlfriend doing question, or what's this or what's that, and so you have to come out every day. And I think it's almost sometimes more powerful when you don't, because, my mother always says she doesn't run around talking about whatever guy she's seeing or whatever, which isn't necessarily true because she talks about it way too much. But, so I don't necessarily always bring my, whole full gay self to everything, but it's definitely, I feel comfortable doing it, which is almost more important.